Good morning, pals. Welcome back to 100 Miles, 100 Days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya, and today we're going to walk about a mile. I'll edit that down to about 20 minutes, and we're going to talk about Disneyland, maybe Disney World, look at the Mickey patch that I'm making, and yeah, let's get started. So let's take a walk. Okay, pals, you ready for this? Ready for the countdown? Come on, everybody, here we go. And let's ramp it up. All right, welcome to day 77. I'm actually starting to panic just a little bit with the thought of how many days I have to really get focused on planning for this Disney trip. And I know that it seems like I've been clearly, thinking about it for a very long time, but the actual time it takes to prepare myself to go somewhere, making the patches, making sure I got my skirt done, making sure I have a list of things that we want to film for you guys. And I always have, I have a hard time with balancing that desire to make a good video with just enjoying and being present with what's happening. So I'm gonna need to kind of make an actual schedule for myself, for Chris and I, so that we know what we're filming and what we're hoping to film. And then, also, like I said, just also balancing that with just putting the camera down and enjoying each other and enjoying the space and enjoying the time that we have together. And we're getting a lot better at, I know I am. I think Chris feels the same way. I'm getting a lot better at not treating the camera as an other, but actually treating it as though I am talking to you, I am talking to a friend. And that makes me get a little more excited about talking to you about these things, because then I don't feel like I'm out here filming and I'm, look at me, I'm doing this thing and I look so cute in front of the castle. And because that's not the image that I ever want to portray anyway. I'm a 54-year-old woman that is not, I'm not in my 20s bouncing around and trying to be an influencer. It's just, that's not who I am. So I am leaning into who I am, and who I am is someone that just wants to bring you along and hope that you have a good time when you're with me. I think that some of the stuff that we're gonna have to show you is things that are interesting to us. We love the behind the scenes kind of stuff. Chris and I tend to be super nerds about this kind of stuff. We want the backstory. We want the, where is the room that the operators worked in with the big switchboard. We want to know those kind of things. We want to know where the offices underground are and stuff like that. And I think that it's interesting to other people. So, what I'm doing is pretty niche anyway. And so I think that some of the things that we'll have to share with you will be somewhat interesting. So one of the things I was thinking about doing And I'm just going to go ahead and start a recording so that we can look at this. And we're going to open our Disneyland app. And one of the things that I've been seeing and have started taking advantage of is the fact that I have a Disney Visa card, and there are specific places that you can get discounts and certain experiences that you can do simply because you are a Disney Visa holder. So it is one of the things that if we scroll down on that main page in our Disneyland app, it takes us to, we can find the place that it says Disney Visa card member perks. And if we click on See Perks, we can look at what the Disneyland Resort offers to card members. So I'm not representing Visa by any means. It's just I got good perks when I joined with them, and for every purchase that I make, I get money back that I can spend at Disney. It's quite specific, and it works for me. It probably isn't going to work for everybody, but I get a cashback thing that I can spend at Disney, just like kind of like a gift card. So if we explore, if we click on that Disneyland park, you can see that there's dining, shopping, and experiences. And the dining is already clicked, so I can receive 10% off of select dining locations most days when I go to any of these particular dining locations. So we've got Cafe Orleans, Carnation Cafe, Harbor Galley, Plaza Inn, River Belle Terrace, Royal Street Veranda, Golden Horseshoe, and Troubadour Tavern. It is my understanding that you won't get this discount when you mobile order. I will have to double check that. I don't remember. I had my Disney Visa hooked up to my app the last time that we went, and I don't know if the 10% got applied at that time or if you need to actually present it and ask for it. So that'll be something that we can take a look at. There is shopping. You can receive 10% off of select merchandise at different locations that are listed here. This is where when I go up to the Disney store that's just 20 minutes away from my house, I get a 10% off discount at the Disney store when I use my Disney Visa, and the perks of the money back. So it's kind of a win-win. Disney money logic. So I can get 10% off all these different places in the park. And then if I go to experiences, I can receive 15% off the non-discounted price of select guided tours at Disneyland. So that's where, this is where I started delving into a little bit more about what these perks actually offer, because I noticed when Chris and I did the 70th anniversary tour in October that our tour was discounted by quite a bit by using my Visa card. And so I looked a little bit farther into it, and it's that we get 15% off of those guided tours. So that's why we went ahead and decided to take advantage of doing the railroad tour this time, because we got a 15% discount. But you'll see that there is also, that second one down has a little Mickey head beside it. And it says card member Star Wars photo opportunity. So if I click that, It tells me that there is a Disney Visa card member Star Wars photo opportunity that is from 2 to 6 p.m. And what I need to do is bring my Disney Visa card, because you have to show it to be able to get into this particular photo opportunity. So I can find that on the map, and you'll see that that is the Carousel of Progress building right across the street from Autopia. So this is there's a sign up there that says like Star Wars Launch Bay. Oh yeah, it shows it right there, Star Wars Launch Bay. So you go there, you show your card between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. and you're able to go in and get an exclusive photo with, I believe it's Darth Vader at that one. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try and do those photo opportunities. There are a couple of them at DCA as well. Here's the dining that you can use. You can get your 10% off. Here's the places you can shop and get your 10% off. And the experiences, there aren't any tours that go through DCA, which is a little bit sad. It'd be fun if there was I would go on a backstage tour at DCA. So if we click on the heroic encounter, that goes from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I believe they switch that out. Sometimes it's Spider-Man, sometimes it's Iron Man. And if you find that on the map, you'll see that that is in Hollywood Studios, or in the Hollywood back lot. I don't remember what they call it exactly, but you'll see right there that that's where Monsters Inc. is. And then right next door at stage 17 is where the entrance to that photo opportunity is. So they have two of these. One of them is the heroic encounter, and one of them is a different encounter that sometimes is Stitch. I'm not sure if it's always Stitch. Like I think the one in Star Wars or the one in Disneyland is always Darth Vader. And this one may always be Stitch, I'm not sure. So this is from 10:30 to 1:30. So this one's in the morning, the heroic one is in the afternoon. They're both in the same place, Hollywood Land. And so I thought it'd be fun to just go and experience those while we're there and see what that's all about. So we clicked on Disney California Adventure. There's also places in downtown Disney that you can get 10% off at Wetzel's Pretzels. And then you have all these different places that you can shop in downtown Disney and still get that 10% off. So it's just kind of a cool little perk that you can get for having that Visa card. They've got different levels of the Visa cards. They've got paid member levels and things like that. I just have the bottom free level, but you know, it still earns me money back that I can you know, buy a ticket or buy a lounge fly or buy a dinner. Yeah, I think on that note, we'll go ahead and take a look at the patches. We finished up with Pluto yesterday, and now we're gonna work on Mickey. So let's take a look. All right, so I've got all the pieces out for Mickey. I've already cut him out. There's a picture that I'm going off of for the cutout of the mouse. And actually, I pull his face all apart. And I've gotten out all the different colors of thread that I'm going to be using on him. So we'll go ahead and get stitching. All right, so as always, as we've been doing so far, I picked out a nice contrasting background color for him, and I'm going to start sewing down the bottom base color here, because it's all going to build up on top of this black. All right, so I'm ready to do the embroidery work now. I'm just going to start by outlining his mouth. I need to make a smile here. There's some extra stuff that needs to happen in his gloves and on his shoes. He also needs a tail. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. I don't think I'm going to do a complete outlining like I did with Pluto. I think I'm just going to start with the suggestions of the outlines to create the flow of his face. I think the only parts I'm going to outline are the lightest parts. So in his shoes and his gloves. We'll see how that works out. All right, we'll tie this off and move on to his gloves. All right, there he is. I think he's looking pretty good. And I added a little extra highlight there so you can see his arm out in front. And you can see the line weight that I added to his tail there like we did with Pluto. And all the little extra details on him. So he's done. And next I think we will work on Donald. All right, there it is, 1 mile. Good job, pals. Woohoo! All right, good job, pals. Thanks again for joining me for another 100 miles, 100 days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya. That's my Moai. This is my backyard. Those are my ears. And I just want to thank you for continuing to come along and nerding out with me every day about Disneyland. I know I get into the weeds a lot about different things, but that's just because that's how my brain works. When I like something, I will just learn every nook and cranny about it. And so hopefully you guys are learning something as we go along, and I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Bye, pals. I'm a 54-year-old woman that, goodness, I'm having a hard time today. That's not a very nice thing to say.